noticing that the moon has been acting really weird lately. Like sometimes like people would notice that the moon would be missing for many nights, or the moon's position would be different from where it's supposed to be, or even the fact that the moon will be out with the sun all day and then all night. One of the theories is that a lot of people believe that the moon is made of plasma. You know, they believe that it's not solid or anything like that. They just believe that it's plasma. Another interesting theory is that the moon is hollow. They believe that there's machines inside the moon, or they believe that there's a base inside the moon. As a matter of fact, NASA had installed these seismometers on the moon, supposedly, to record the moonquakes, and look what they discovered. They supposedly reported that the moon rang like a bell for almost an hour, leading to arguments that it must be hollow like a bell. So I'm about to drop this clip right here about this activist. Her name is Linda Moulton. So what she is, she's a UFOologist. She's basically like a whistleblower. So she spends her life, you know, studying these UFOs and investigating these conspiracies. But look what she had to say. Take a look.
I've been told by an abductee that the moon is a machine filled with computers. It watches, observes, downloads, uploads information to someone somewhere else in the universe. Twice, people who would be CIA, NSA have said, it's absolutely right.
All right, so I'm about to piggyback on what she said about how the moon is like a machine and everything like that. So if you know who Rashad Jamal is, but those of you who don't know who Rashad Jamal is, I'm gonna need y'all to just Google his name or put it in your search box on TikTok, and all his videos will come up. And before I go any further, I just want to say free Rashad Jamal, but let's get into this. And I'm gonna need y'all to really keep following me with this one. All right, so basically what he's implying is that the moon is a machine, and they have all these machines and scientists on the moon, and they're snatching our souls. So it's basically like a soul snatcher. So when we die and leave this realm or earth, and when our soul is trying to leave this realm, they basically snatch our souls, and it goes through these machines and these bleacher sensors, and we get reincarnated back onto this earth. So we're basically stuck here on the slave planet. Like we keep getting reincarnated. Take a look at what he had to say.
What the moon does to us, to the gods and goddesses, all right, is it blinds the soul as the soul leaves this atmosphere of what is known as of what they call Earth. And they literally have scientists up on the moon, physical, in the physical, up on the moon, all right? They're sitting in their lab coats studying this planet, all right? And their souls, when people die and their souls leave this atmosphere, you have scientists on the moon that's literally they're capturing their souls. Because you have to remember, we already know who have souls. Human beings are soulless beings. They do not have a soul. They only have electricity, all right? So the only beings with soul are the gods and goddesses, the aboriginals of this planet and this universe. As your spirit and soul is leaving this realm, they have other scientists up there that have this moonlight, and what the moon does is the moon acts like a flashlight and it blinds the soul. So as you're leaving this atmosphere, all you see is darkness, all right? And the moon, all right, as you're leaving, it's the only light you see while leaving this realm. It's like a giant flashlight in the sky that blinds you. And most people, most souls look into that light. Now, most souls should turn around, all right? Most souls should turn around, you know, at the moment of what they call death. Most souls should turn around, all right? Because if they did, they could see that behind you is the entire galaxy. But most of us do not do that. We get blinded by this moonlight, all right? We get blinded by this moonlight, and we drift into the light, all right? Especially when a lot of us remember a lot of the religious dogma that had been taught to us about drifting into the light and, you know, go to the light, run from the darkness. Don't go to the darkness, go to the light. You know, this is what you taught. So your soul remembers these things as it leaves these realms. Your soul collects memories from dimension to dimension, lifetime to lifetime. So this moon captures your soul. This moon captures your soul as you walk in there. I mean, as you drift off, this moon captures your soul. All right. So after this moon captures your soul, it then takes it into these bleaching centers that they have. All right. And what these bleaching centers do on the moon is you have regular human beings, physical, right, up there that's capturing all these souls, and then they bleach the souls of its memories, all right? Remember, the soul is magnetism, so they have a bunch of magnetic molecular vibrations that they send our souls through on the moon. And what it does is these magnetic vibration programs, all right, or these machines, bleaches your soul of all its memories, and then they redirect your soul back to this realm, to a new physical avatar, all right? And this is what they had been using the moon to do since they invaded and took over our planet. It's really sonar weaponry used against us, all right? This is why if you go back and study the Zulu tribe, Shaka Zulu, if you go read up on the Zulu nation, they speak a lot about how, you know, back in their day, there was no moon in the sky. And they speak about how one day the moon just literally appeared in the sky. All right.
There is a good deal of evidence that says humans existed at a time before there was a moon in the sky. Aristotle said the Pelasgians lived in Arcadia at a time before the moon. He called these people Proselenians, meaning those who lived before the moon. Anaxagoras and Democritus mentioned these same people as being before the moon, and so convinced were they of this fact that they had no problem relaying it as a part of their standard history lessons to their students of the time. Apollonius of Rhodes mentioned the time when not all the orbs were yet in the heavens, and only the Arcadians lived, of whom it is said that they dwelt on mountains and fed on acorns, before there was a moon. The ancient Illyrians were also Proselenians, whose records record a time before the moon. The 14th century Italian scientist Giordano Bruno echoes all of this. There are those who have believed that there was a certain time when the moon, which was believed to be younger than the sun, was not yet created. The Cordilleras believes there was a time with no moon, and they always to this day start their stories of ancient times with the phrase, "before the moon inhabited the night sky." In Bolivia, there are pictographs stating the moon did not arrive in the heavens until about 12,000 years ago. And strangely enough, there is a lack of ancient moon maps. Pretty weird given that the moon is a main celestial body, and the brightest next to the sun. Philip Stuke of the University of Western Ontario couldn't understand this, and after a long search, the oldest reference to the moon he could find was what appeared to be a lunar map inside a tomb in North Ireland, dating back 5,000 years. He found a set of lines and dots that, when placed over a picture of the full moon, appeared to line up. So 5,000 years ago is the oldest reference to the moon. Again, where's the ancient lunar calendars? 3,000 years beforehand, the Sumerians were involved in astrology, but their moon god wasn't present until about 1,000 years after this Irish reference to the moon. Again, the moon is a very obvious body in the sky, so why would we have trouble finding ancient references to it? Well, because the moon wasn't always there. The moon displays a lot of strange characteristics that tell us this is not only a holographic projection, but one where strange activity is going on interdimensionally. The lunar wave has been shown by many YouTube channels. The lunar wave is a wave that crosses the entire moon consistently, like a constant loading sequence in a hologram. On many occasions, orbs of light have been seen surrounding and exiting the moon. These are either souls that are being recycled back into another body on Earth, or the false light beings traveling to and from. There's really no way to know, but the activity is strange. The moon is an implant, and part of the moon's function interdimensionally is to create a false light trap upon our death. This is what some people refer to as the Pac-Man light. Our souls are eaten by the light just like Pac-Man eating the dots. Saturn is aiding in this process, and funny enough, we're told 2 of Saturn's moons has a heat signature representing Pac-Man. This is intentional and being rubbed in our faces. So our souls are locked in a dimension of control on this flat plane, and the false afterlife is merely a short break before being recycled back into this matrix. Before I continue, I'm not saying this is all doom and gloom. We have limitless divine strength to get out of this matrix, but the true light from which all source energy pours out through has been hidden from us. The Tibetan Book of the Dead is an instruction manual on how to navigate the planes of the afterlife. It says, "Be not fond of the dull smoke-colored light from hell. Remember the clear light, the pure clear white light from which everything in the universe comes, to which everything in the universe returns, the original nature of your own mind." So the true light does exist, but has been covered up by the false light. Many people don't even recognize that they're infinite souls with infinite creative abilities, so upon death they're still attached to the physical realm and seek comfort in any signs that point to familiarity.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
On July 20th, 1969, with the whole world holding its collective breath, NASA achieved a goal that was literally out of this world. It put the first humans on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That was more than 53 years ago. Years later, on December 19th, 1972, the last NASA mission to the moon took place. Nearly 50 years later, NASA has yet to put another human on the moon. Despite advancing technology and increasing awareness, NASA has not been able to replicate the successes of the 70s.